Walton's second episode of the 100% Real podcast, where everything we talk about is 100% real. We're going to be talking about music, we're going to be talking about politics, and we're going to talk about sports. Today, we are happy and excited to be sponsored by Sun God Entertainment, right here in the Sun God Entertainment Studios. Shout out to my boy Cali Soul out there in New Mexico. What's going on? But man, it is 100% my pleasure to have our second guest with us on the 100% Real podcast. Today we got NFL running back, Pro Bowl running back, Super Bowl champion, my mentee, my dude, CJ Anderson, straight out of Vallejo. What's up, CJ?
You good?
I'm good, man. So talk to the people, man. You know, say hi, tell them something, give them something good before we jump into these questions.
Nah, man, you know, just like you said, Shamann been my mentor for a long time. Just growing up in the V, had a good foundation with my mom and my grandma. No father figure.
All day.
So you know, I take what mentors say big time. I got plenty of them though, but nah, we just here fucking around having fun. We're gonna enjoy this.
That's
right.
right.
I'm gonna give y'all some. It's gonna be some real shit on here that some people don't get. So y'all getting a little exclusive.
That's how.
Just because who it is.
That's right. So check this out. So we're gonna take this conversation to fruit routes, but you went to the league. You graduated from Jesse Bethel High School, straight out of Vallejo, and then you went JUCO route, then to Cal, and went to the league. But you wasn't drafted.
Yep.
You went to a JUCO.
Yep.
Now let's talk about that. Like, tell the folks your path and your route to the NFL and the things you did to get there.
So, you know, obviously I didn't have the grades, so it wasn't really the grades. I didn't have the SAT scores. Like, I needed 1,200 SAT. I couldn't get over 1110, no matter what I did. And we did everything from, right, Hendrix, which he knows, right?
That's right.
Getting tutored by
Shout out
Mr.
to
Hendrix.
Ken, for sure.
Right? Sliding up to tutoring classes in Fresno's. And my mama wasted her all to try to get it done because I had a couple scholarships on the table. But go to JUCO, and I think that's where I really grew as a person, right? And as a player. Like, shout out to Beam and Laney up there in Oakland. What they did, took me in, how they took me in, you feel me? At one point in the league, my shit said Oakland, California before I told them, like, nah, I'm from the V.
That's right. Let them know.
But I had to
let
let
them
them know.
California.
But long story short, right, it was the getting up, like, that's the JUCO taught me the dedication and how much I really love the game. It was getting up, taking grams to take me to Cotulla Parkway,
Right.
catch the 510 bus to get on the 540 BART to get to the weights by 6:30 every day.
Right.
So it was that when it came that way. And then from there, I do my thing in JUCO, led the state in Russia my sophomore year.
That's right.
Highly recruited, but then I go to Cal and I take that because I go on a visit to Miami, I go on a visit to Utah, and I go to a visit to Georgia. And I wasn't ready to be on my own. Some real shit. Like, I just was out there.
See, just real quick, this is honest conversation. He talking about having to go to a JC. He talking about having to get up and commute before he even got to D1. And he talking about what's real and legitimate. And so young folks might have some apprehension about going away to school. It's real for everybody. It's understandable. Talk to him, my bad.
Yeah, like, when I went down to the University of Miami, so people don't know this, right? That the campus on the beach. Walk out of class and the beach right there. And you feel me? The women is, you feel me? So,
Right.
And I was
That's right.
all about that shit when I was younger, for sure. So when I was there, I was like, nah, my ass will be back in the crest. I'm gonna lose focus out here.
Right.
It's just too many
Right.
women. I was on women in high school. I was on women in JUCO. You feel me? So it's just way too many out here where I'm gonna lose my focus, right? So I was like, nah, I ain't with that. Utah was too cold. So I was like, man, I'm gonna just go to Cal, stay at the crib. And I think that helped me big time too.
That's right.
Plus Cal was putting hella running backs in the league at the time.
That's right.
So I was rocking that, you know, Sean and Javid and Shane Vereen, and it's good to be a part of that group and that pack. But that was kind of like, if I didn't go to Laney, I don't learn that. Because, like, I got some wild out shit in Oakland.
Right.
You feel me? That
Right.
a lot of people don't know that I did that. It's cool because I wasn't home, but I was home.
That's
So,
right.
you feel me? I had a whole bunch of people, including yourself, who could smack me upside the head and keep me straight. But if I'm all the way in Florida, ain't no way. ain't no way. Like, ain't no phone call or ain't no, hey, bro, I'm on my way. You know, I've had my mom a couple times, my grandma a couple times. I'm going to come get you.
That's right.
I'm going to come get you.
Right.
So that's kind of like, even when I got done with Laney, like, that's when I stopped drinking. I stopped doing all that. Because I've had my grandma pick me up. You feel me? Sometimes, like, I'm drunk.
I know.
I can't get to the crib.
Right.
You feel me? So if I was doing that shit in Florida or in Utah, or if I was doing that shit in Athens, Georgia, it would have been ugly.
So you got to know your environment. So you go to JUCO at Laney. And let me just tell folks who might not know. Laney College is in Oakland. It's a junior college, community college in Oakland, California, which is about 25 minutes from Vallejo, California. So that's where you commuted to every day. You get to D1, you get to Cal. Like you said, you didn't start in the beginning. But something crazy, like your per carry average was like 5 yards plus a carry at Cal.
Yeah, I mean, shit's like that in the league too.
Right. So you go to Cal, you do that. Tell me how you ended up in the NFL and becoming a starting running back.
So I always look back at like what people go, damn, see, like you was undrafted. Like what made you go undrafted? I just think because they knew I was better. I knew I was better. People don't understand. Like it's politics in the game. You feel me? And you can let them politics even destroy you, or you can stick around and play the politics as long as you can until you get the opportunity. So the way I tell people this all the time. So when Marshawn got to Cal, he sat behind J.J. Arrington.
Yeah.
J.J. Arrington was a 2,000-yard rusher, et cetera, et cetera. Marshawn was absolutely more talented. You feel me? Wasn't even close. And then obviously Justin Forsett sat behind Marshawn, right? Javit Best sat behind Justin, Shane behind Javit, so on, so on. So it was a guy, E.C. Sofeli.
That's
just how they do it. That's just how they do it. So I had to wait my turn and share carries. That's just how they do it until I got a chance to really take it over. So I think that's why I went undrafted, because it was like you wouldn't clear out, take it over, because the stats was there. Should have had 10 touchdowns my junior year, 8 or 9 touchdowns my Shat scored 19 touchdowns in 2 years when I was at Cal.
Right.
So the stats was there. Rush forward band both years. So shit, but it is what it is. Then when I got to the league, then the money played. So now I'm undrafted. I think I signed like 12,000 signing bonus, right? Which at that time I'm like, hell yeah, I got some cash, right? Right. Compared to the second round pick, his signing bonus was like $930. I'm like, damn, we getting paid. But I just sat there and waited my turn. Like I tried to tell the kids today, like I keep my head down, I kept grinding. I knew what to do. That's the biggest thing. Like knowing what to do. Like understanding the playbook, understanding what's going on, and then practicing to get better every day.
Well, speaking of that playbook, I just gotta chime in because I remember one time me and you went to lunch when you got to Denver, and I was looking at your iPad and everything, and I was like, that's a playbook? That looked like a quadratic equation or something. Like, so people need to really understand how much work it takes to be a professional NFL athlete and what that playbook looked like. Because I thought that was a straight up math equation, even trying to look at what you had on that iPad.
Nah, that shit real. So like, what I try to tell people, it's like going to school. You feel me? And I ain't really fuck with school like until I got older. But it's like going to school. But if you care about something, you're gonna put the time into it. So I'm a junkie. Still to this day, I'm a football junkie. So when it came to the playbook and seeing things and understand things, it made it easy. Then I tell kids, like I tell grown men this. So listening is a fundamental life skill. So if I got a coach or if I got a mentor or if it's the homie, y'all telling me something, the big homie telling me something. Listen, nigga, just listen. Like they telling you right, so just listen. So that's one thing that I got to learn quick too. Like, shit, Peyton Manning telling me something, listen.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. Coach
Stew's telling me something, you better listen. DeMarcus Ware, Champ Bailey, I played with some real vets.
That's right.
They telling me some shit, listen. Like, when I was hurt my rookie year, me and Champ was hurt at the same time. So we in the training room every day, 6:30 in the morning, rehabbing and getting it done. And, this, I think, year 13 or 14 for Champ at the time, or maybe year 12. But he telling me real shit, how to manage your money, how to save your money, right? What to invest in, what to look for, what's coming up. So I'll be a dumbass not to listen. But I also think that's where we grew up. I just think that's the Bay Area in general. You got some cats who egotistical, and I wasn't, right? At times, trust me, I had my ego go at times, though, for sure.
I was gonna sit back and let you have it right now.
But I also think like shit, it's listen. Like if you listen, right, to the right people and you understand they're giving you the right shit, obviously you're gonna go do your background checking. what they say.
See, that's what the
That shit go a
100%
long
Real
way.
podcast is about. We're going to keep it 100% real. We got NFL professional athlete walking around with a Super Bowl ring telling youngsters the same thing we all try to tell youngsters. You got to listen. But I got to take it back to many moons ago. And I'm going to tell you, like, when I first knew that you had it, and it's going to sound strange to people, and all the questions I'm asking you, I already know. But we was at the boys club. I was working at the boys club. I think I was home for the summer. And he was probably like 3rd or 4th grade. And we was in the gym. And we was playing flag football. And, I think at the time, like, I was all-time quarterback or whatever. But you was playing with, like, 6th and 7th graders in the gym.
Yeah.
And I know it's not the field. We all grew up playing football. We know it's not the field. But when you got a 3rd or 4th grader catching touchdowns, juking 6th, 7th graders, even in the gym, you could see something special. And I was like, I remember telling your mom, shout out to Neva, and to, of course, Miss Gaddy's grandma. But I was like, man, he got to get in there. And came back, and you was in Pop Warner, and I love to see it. But you grew up in an area called the Crest.
Yep.
And for some people who may not know, it's where Mac Dre is from, it's where Mac Mall is from, it's where Doobie is from, and a lot of folks that we know and love from Vallejo. But the Crest is a tough neighborhood. You grew up right on Mark Street, right in the heart of it.
Right in the middle of it.
How did you manage to stay out of the game, stay out of trouble, to be able to, be somebody who could become a professional athlete growing right up there on the turf, right there in the mud?
So I think it's there's 3 things to that. First was shout out to Rab, shout out to my uncle.
Yes,
he showed me what not to do.
That's right.
Moved it.
Shout out.
Our house was raided 4 times growing up. Really was with the shit. Like was tripping, right? When I look at it now.
Right.
So he always showed us what not to do. Second, bro, my mom and Grams, like, for real, like, moms and Grams, they was on my ass. Wouldn't let me know. And then they put me around, like, you and Graham, right? Montoya, I can name some, Rudy Taylor, so much.
That's right.
So shout out to them, you feel me,
For
on the foundation. And then the last one was Bobby Brooks.
That's right.
People don't understand. I give Bobby Brooks
Former
hella
Mark
credit.
Street.
Right, Bobby played in the league. When I used to go to those camps, he used to bring Charles Woodson and Tim Brown. And at the time, my mom used to be like, damn, you ain't trying to take a picture with Tim. I'm like, nah, like, that guy grew up where I grew up and made it where I'm from. So that's kind of how I looked at it. So I always, me and Bobby super close today, but I've always had aspirations for Bobby from afar because I'm like, shit, you made it out of that shit too, so I know I can, you feel me? So that was the top 3, you know what I'm saying? But like, when I tell y'all, like, people don't know this shit, Unc was sick. Yeah. And when I got to the combine, right, damn, this story ain't out. So, Unc, forgive me on this. But
tell it.
When I got
100% Real podcast.
When I got to the combine, I'll never forget. So I sat down with the Patriots. Boom, sat down. Ivan Fears was the running back coach at the time, and Josh McDaniels was the offensive coordinator. So they got me in the room, pulling up my highlights. They talking. So I'm talking football, flying colors with that shit. And then they go, so CJ, what about this drug habit your uncle got? I'm like,
they seriously asked
what you talking about? I'm lying. Yeah, I'm lying. Like, nah, you got the wrong CJ. Like, nah. They're like, nah, like, on this date, house was raided. This was the police report. I'm like,
wow.
So that's what I said. Damn, NFL is fucking better than the Secret Service.
Right.
So I was like, when they got detailed, I was like, well, yeah, you feel me? My uncle was on drugs, sold drugs. This is what he did. Shit. Because at that time, it was a whole group. Royce.
That's right.
We can name all of them, right? I don't want to throw them all out there. But it was a whole group of them that was doing their thing. But, my uncle was in the middle of that. But when I found that out, it wasn't just the Patriots, the Giants, right? The Falcons,
right,
and the Dolphins, right? Them 4 teams, like, really knew my life growing up in Chicago. Them 5 teams really knew my life growing up. And I was like, how the fuck they find this shit out?
But see, that's why I got to jump in here real quick, because anybody wanting to go to the league or want to be a professional, you got to understand, you're an investment to these teams. And so they're going to be digging deep and looking deep. You hear what he's talking about. This wasn't even him or something that he was a part of. He talking about Unc and some things that happened and how deep the league went and brought up the history of something. So obviously you got to watch who you hang around. You got to watch the things that you do. But you also got to understand, when you want to be a professional athlete, they diving into your life 100%.
Yeah, so I got hit with questions like, you know, if you get this money, is your uncle still part of that shit? Are you gonna be helping funding? I'm like, whoa, what? And I'm 21 years old, so I also took offense to that too. Like, hold on, nigga, who the fuck y'all talking to? Like, first of all, y'all bashing my aunt, bro. My aunt clean and out the game, been out the game at that time.
That's right.
You feel me? But they didn't know that, and I respect it. But then that's also, right, some shit you just don't know growing up. Like, all this shit is public, right? You can go get this shit from anybody, right? Obviously, if you got the right connections. But this shit public, it's public knowledge. So it's not like you can't look it up, just like our contracts and our numbers.
Right.
This shit's public knowledge. So I kind of learned that too. Like, you growing up, because you don't get that when you grow up where we from, you young, and, you know, you hear about the shit in raps, like, oh, he's snitching, and this paperwork, and this and that. But you really don't really know, especially when you're not in the game, because I wasn't in the game at all. Right. So I just thought that shit was shocking from them 5 teams. But that's when I was kind of like, all right. And I don't want to say that played a part while I was undrafted. But I had, you know, like, especially with New England, like, you carry yourself a certain way. Right. You throw up your hood when you score, which I was doing. My ass was throwing up the crest in Cal when I scored touchdowns. So they like, what is this? Is this gang sign? So I was like, damn. So I, like, even before even making it, like, it was, I ain't gonna say it was a blemish, but it kind of gave me an eye open. Like, oh, shit. They know. They fucking know. Like, they knew. They knew everything that went down, right? They dig deep, and they got it. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that's what kept me away from certain teams, but shit, when you look back at it, you like, that shit had to play a part. They wouldn't have asked me them questions if they didn't. You know what I'm saying? But I thought that was funny when they was like, hey, man, you gonna help your uncle fund his drug business, and then I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Shout out to Uncle Aaron too, by the way. But check this out. So you've been and played in 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, man.
2 in Denver and 1 when you played for the Rams. Like, tell me about just that experience and going to the Super Bowl. We'll talk about winning one later, but tell me just about the experience of going to the Super Bowl in general.
That shit was fun. All 3 of them. And all 3 was in different time periods of my life and where I was at. My family getting that experience. You know, we grew up in the Crest, so like, we talking like New York. My mama and them ain't never been to New York. Ain't never seen the Statue of Liberty. Just shit like that. You know what I'm saying? People talk about like going out the country.
That's right.
And we wasn't going out California. Barely going out of Vallejo.
That's right.
So I just think when I look at those experiences, those different times, right? Obviously winning one at home, which was great. But being in New York and Atlanta, like my mom and them got to see Atlanta, got to be in downtown Atlanta, right?
Shout out today.
Yeah, different culture, different vibe. You know the black people down there, they fuck with each other. So my mom and my grandma and them get a chance to see that. I think that was pretty dope. So the experience was fun. Obviously losing ain't never fun for sure.
Well, I remember that first one, man. Y'all was playing.
We getting our ass whooped.
Yeah,
that was a bad one.
But then the next year you win the Super Bowl, and you win the Super Bowl in the Bay Area, where you were from, where you were bred, where you grew up. How does it feel not only to win a Super Bowl, but to actually win a Super Bowl basically in your hometown, you know, just a few miles away comparative? How does that feel?
So that shit was good. I remember when we won the AFC Championship. So cameras going around, NFL cameras, right? NFL films, they're going around like, CJ, you won the AFC Championship. Like, how you feel? I'm like, I kept going, bro. I'm going home for free. Right. I ain't paying for no flight. I'm going home for free.
Right.
So that's kind of how I looked at it. I think I'm going to look at it a little different this year because Super Bowl 60 out here this year.
That's right.
So I know I'm going to be a part of the festivities and shit. So I think I'm going to see it a little different this year. But at the time, and just reflecting on it now, like, winning it at home, having my high school coaches there, having certain people there, because I only gave out 5 tickets. Yeah. So I'm glad there was other people.
So just real quick to be a little bit selfish, because I was rolling over here with Percy today. Why I didn't get no ticket?
Yeah, see, I knew that was coming, right? My was expensive, man. And I was still on an undrafted contract. That's what I was understand. I didn't get paid yet. So I was still on the undrafted contract. Shit, I was only making like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot.
I'm just paying. I couldn't have took the ticket anyway being on the board of supervisors. They would have somehow found a way to find me.
They
put it in the newspaper anyway. So I wouldn't even been able to get a ticket from somebody I helped raise because of politics.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But you ain't just the only one. I had a whole bunch of people who was like, damn, bro, you ain't getting no tickets, you ain't on this. I'm like, Bro, them hoes 17, 1800. You feel me? And I ain't making.
Right.
I ain't. You feel me? Some of my teammates, I ain't Peyton, I ain't DT, I ain't Emmanuel. My ass wasn't making no M's yet. I was still in the 100,000. So shit, I gotta stack this cash. So I brought 5, man. I brought my mom, my uncle,
everybody
my grandma, everybody was supposed to be there, and
right.
my girl at the time. So my baby mom's now. So other than that, that's it.
So you got a chance to play in a Super Bowl with one of the greatest to ever play the game, and that's Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And not just playing in the Super Bowl with him, but just being able to play with one of the best to ever do it, especially at that position. How was that feeling like? How did you feel about that? Tell us a little bit about what you might have learned from Pey. Anything you just want to share, because that's one of the best.
So I love a story from the beginning, right? I'm the undrafted kid. Like we drafted Monte Ball that same year, so they got the running back they want, and they got me, right? And it was like maybe after rookie minicamp because it's just the rookies. So after that weekend, we jump into OTAs with the rest of the group, and he just comes to me. CJ Anderson, introduce himself. CJ Anderson, he goes, Peyton Manning. I'm glad you're here, CJ. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, okay. Like, shit, I made a couple plays in rookie minicamp. He could have heard about it, you feel me? So I'm like, all right, that's what's up. And then we go down to Candlestick. Shout out to Candlestick. That's right. I miss Candlestick.
Home.
A little different than Levi. I miss Candlestick. I tell people that shit all the time. Right? So we go to Candlestick for the first preseason game, and I go off.
Yeah, I was there.
I go off.
I was there.
And then after, everybody, right? So Peyton rocking with me. I got Peyton trying to take pictures with everybody. Ended up telling my mom, like, don't worry about it. Like, we're going to take care of CJ. So right then, like, I never took that like I was going to make the team. My mom told me that. I was like, well, that's good to hear. And then from there, we just grew this friendship even to what we got now. Like, he already donated to the program. He donated $15K to the program. You feel me?
Shout out to Peyton Manning. Thank you for that donation.
Right now, big, because you know what I'm trying to do. But, I took, when he retired, he says, right, 2 players he wish he would have played with longer because they were the smartest players they ever played with was me and Marshall Faulk, right? And I take that, right? Like, I spent a lot of time in the meeting room and next to his ass and all that. So I tell people, like, it ain't just playing with him. It's how he work. It's how he study. Because, trust me, this motherfucker was not the most athletic. He wasn't the strongest in the weight room. Right. But he giving you your all, though.
Right.
He giving you your all, though. So just how to be a pro, how to come to work, how to come to do those things every day. I got a lot from him, and shit, I think it helped me to what I am right now. Like, what I want to do, coaching-wise, etc.
Again, it goes back to listening and paying attention.
Facts.
He had an opportunity to play with one of the greatest in the game. Coming from, again, a lot of people may not know, but I know you heard about the crest in music, but they just go to show you that there's always a diamond in the rough. Of course, a rose can grow from concrete. So we got a couple props in here. One, I just want to thank you. You signed this jersey for me.
Yeah, man.
Many years ago. I can't even tell you when, but I appreciate it. I keep that with me. It's going to be framed pretty soon when I get a couple of dollars. But secondly, so I got a football in front of me, man. I keep it in a glass case, but I was like, this would be a good prop for today. But this is when you got a touchdown on October 2nd, 2016 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So
in Tampa, too.
In Tampa. So one, I just want to thank you for that, but just let you know that I keep this everywhere I go. It's precious to me. It's important to have somebody that I spend so much time with and that I know and have a strong relationship, be successful. And we both had a mentor that was there for us. Actually, a few mentors that were the same, but of course, Fillmore Graham. I can never not talk about my success, your success without bringing up Fillmore Graham, and just want people to know that when you got a mentor like that in your life, a lot of things can be possible. But I don't know anything you want to share about the Boys and Girls Club.
Two things about Graham right now. So 2 things about Graham. I don't graduate from Cal and even go back and go grab my master's if it wasn't for Graham.
Right.
Like, I tell people all the time, Graham used to take my football away and you got to do a book report. And then I'll do the first book report, and that shit, I knew nothing about grammatical errors and none of that shit.
Right.
But he'll give me my ball back. Then the next month he'll take my shit away and do another book report, then I'll give it back, and then they got all these errors and fragment sentences and teaching me, right? Education. Because obviously, he's an engineer and that's what he did. Right. You feel me? So I give Graham the credit for that because, like, he the one that taught me how to apply myself in school. Like, you smarter than what just this game give you. He taught me how to apply myself. Right. And then I never gave you your flowers for this, mine, so I'm gonna give you your flowers right now. Mine ain't never asked for nothing. Like, as many people as I helped out or I flew to games, I ain't never had to fly mine. All I do is provide the ticket. I ain't never had to fly mine to no game. I ain't never had to like, hey, see, I'm this. I'm like, hey, I'm coming to these games and I'm gonna be there. Whether that shit was in Tampa, whether that shit was in Denver, whether that shit was in San Diego, like mine got down there. So I always respected that because, you know, you want to give back somehow, some way. You want to help the people who helped you. And obviously mom was big on that. But he ain't never was like...
And I got to just say this.
Which I fuck with tough. And my mom, we all fuck with because, like, I spent a lot of money on motherfuckers I still don't... I don't even talk to today.
Sure. But it goes back to who we talking about, right? We was raised and had the opportunity to be around Fillmore Graham, one of the greatest mentors to ever do it.
Yep.
And just like him, for me, seeing you succeed, seeing you be successful, seeing you make it, that was my flower.
Right.
To know and be able to say, I know him. I'm a big part of his life. I can call his mama and his grandmama right now.
Yep.
You know, we from Pop Warner to high school to everything. So that was the reward for me, just so you know.
And then our talks.
All of it.
Like, mine didn't let me get away with too much.
Nah,
like, his
never,
ass was...
Never.
He let me know when I was wrong.
Right.
He let me know when I was right. You know, he guided me in certain situations, whether that was like my relationship at the time, you feel me? Or whether it was like just mentality. What's going on? How do I get out of this shit? Right. How to play certain politics games, because his ass was in politics. So I respect that a lot. And I don't get that if I don't meet you at the Boys and Girls Club. Which is crazy, because like the club for me was something to go to because my grandma worked there. Yeah. Yeah. That's all it was for me and my little brother. For me and Kay, it was Graham's worked there. After school, we going to the club. And then there was Arnani, and there was Garland, right? Marco, shit. Rudy. Ryan, right? Borgiana. So it was like, bruh, like, I'm meeting all these people who's invested in my life, who poured into my life somehow, some way. Montoya.
That's right.
Right?
But we all need it.
Yeah, we did. Shit, we all did. I mean, at least I for sure did. For sure.
So you touched on something that I really want to make sure we get across in this interview. You went to community college. We talked about that. You go to Cal. You don't get your degree.
Nope.
You go to the league. You become a Super Bowl champ. You go to a Pro Bowl. You got all these accolades, but you still decide to go back to school.
Yep.
What made you make that decision?
Two things. So one, I want to be a head coach in college, and they love my NFL experience. They're like, you need to get the degree. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But the second thing is, I remember, so this is my senior year, because Graham passed my freshman year at Lane. Yeah. So this is my senior year, right? And Graham had Alzheimer's, as we know. But for the people out there, Graham had Alzheimer's. So I played my senior year. Graham passed when I got to Cal. I was tripping. So played my senior year. 2 years later, I signed the scholarship to go to Cal. I go back up the SAC, because that's where he was at the time. I go back up the SAC to kind of like let him know, like, hey, I'm finna go to UC Berkeley. And I wasn't calling it Cal at that time. I was telling people, shit, I'm going to UC Berkeley, because obviously the academics is crazy. That's when Graham didn't know who I was, which that didn't really hurt me, because I knew what was going on. But I remember it was me, my mom's, and Graham's. Obviously, Montoya was there. And I just remember promising, like, hey, I'm going to get my degree from Cal. Like, all the shit that you poured into me when I was younger, when it came to book reports, right? Or me sitting on the wall, or making sure I'm getting the help and study hall. Like, I told him I'm going to go get my degree. So I kept that promise. You feel me? It's one thing you try to do. You know, try to keep all your promises in life, but try to keep the ones that's important to you. That one was important to me. So when I had an opportunity to go back, right, and it didn't have to come out of my pocket, whether the league or Cal was going to pay for it, which they did. We just finished up this May, and that shit was special. And I remember Mom's, right when the certificate came, Mom's was like, damn, how you think Graham will be right now? I said, Graham's smiling as fuck right now. But I said it would have been good to have that with Graham, because that was our relationship.
That's right.
Graham didn't care about none of the sports. He didn't care that I was the best in the V. He didn't care about none of the accolades that I was getting. Right? He wanted to make sure academically I was on it. Like, it was him that introduced me to Ken when I was struggling on the math part of my SAT. Like, it was him that was like, nah, see, we're going to sit down and we're really going to do this. It was him where we was like HBCUs. I had no idea what that shit was.
Right.
Until I met Graham. Even though I didn't want to go HBCU because I was all on sports.
Right.
But it was him that gave me like, your grades is good enough right now in high school to do this, right?
That's right.
So it was him on that, and I took that big time, and shout out to Graham for that.
And shout out to you for finishing getting your degree. I know you're not drinking, but I'm gonna toast one because remember on the 100% Real podcast, we always keep it 100% real. So again, going back a little bit of history, played running back all through Pop Warner and everything. You get to high school, and you end up playing quarterback.
Best decision ever. Shout out to Jeff Turner.
How does playing quarterback in high school weigh into how you become to the NFL? And how did you feel about it? I mean, I know a lot of this behind the scenes stuff, but you had to play quarterback. How did you feel about that?
Pissed. First
right. Talk to it.
I was like, QB, like, what? I'm used to getting the ball and doing my thing. Now you want me to hand the ball off, want me to throw the ball to other people. Because I was an athlete, obviously we ran option offense. But when I look back, 15, 16, and this were Turner and Wu, right? Shout out to Shelly. This were them two is big in my life. I don't get taught, right, what a 3 technique was, or cover 3 defense, or how to look at a front. I don't get taught none of that unless I spend that. Like, I spent those 2 summers of my going into my sophomore year, going into my junior year with those coaches. I spent those 2 summers at their house, right? And Shelly house was on Springs Road.
That's right.
But at Shelly house, learning football. And that helped me, right, when I got here. So now when Peyton talking, or when Sean McVay talking, Jared Goff, any of these dudes I play with, when they talking, I can get on a common language with them. When I got to Cal, there was certain shit that I knew that other players didn't know. You feel me? And they was in like big time high schools in Texas and shit. And I'm like, wait, I don't know what that is. Like, I know what this is. I learned that shit in high school. So I hated it, but then I learned a lot from it. I embraced it, and I shout out to them 2 coaches for putting me there.
Well, see, that's the thing. They knew one thing, that you was the best athlete on the field. But I remember, you did not want to play quarterback.
I don't do that shit.
And then your senior year in high school, you actually got an opportunity to go back.
Yep, went back to running back. We were selfish. That's what I tell people. We were selfish. We still made the playoffs.
That's right.
But we were selfish. I was like, we're going to bring this dude in from Pitt. I don't care how good, how weak he is. But now I get to showcase my talent. I have to play running back. I have to play in the slot. I have to play receiver. So I got to do a lot more, right? With show that I can do a lot more with that. And then my game expanded too, so it was cool.
So I got to always talk to, obviously, athletes about accolades, etc. But just want to talk a little bit about on-campus life, because I know it's going to be some young people that watch this. Always promote higher education first, although I believe in just making sure you, whenever you finish high school, that you focus on a career, do something that's going to be able to take care of your family. But tell me a little bit about campus life for you. And I know you were closer to home, but tell me a little bit about campus life, or tell the youngsters about campus life just so they can kind of get a feel.
Shit was fun. Campus life is like. Tell you that. Shit was fun. Especially in them Cal days, we was winning. But I think the biggest thing, so there's 2 different parts. There's the athlete side of you, right? And then I always say, like, there's the game side, the CJ side. Like, when I mean game, I mean the game I learned from the streets, watching it, right? Because I wasn't heavily in it, or I got from mentors, or I just got from learning from other people. So when the athlete side, the shit's fun. Like, there's frat parties, right? You're gonna go to some of those, right? You're gonna have some women. You're gonna do those things, right? And I'm not telling you not to do those things. Learn from those experiences. But I think the game side of you, one thing I learned about Cal, right? I wasn't a Cal guy when I walked in. I was a Cal guy when I left.
Right.
And what I tell people is, I remember, so 2 girls, I don't even know what the fuck they doing today, but one name was Ankita, she was Indian, and another girl, forgot her name, but she was from France, right? One was from India, the other one was from France. Obviously, I was having relations with one of them at the time, so I remember her name. The other one I wasn't really fucking with. like that. But
Right.
I was fucking with her on the academic side of things.
Right.
We in a group project together for a class, and I learned so much from them. How to study, how to take notes, how to do those things, right? But then they would go to these clubs, right? So obviously I'm supporting, the one I'm talking to.
Right.
So I ain't got practice, I ain't got nothing, I'm free. You going to this club, let's pull up, right? And then I'm like, damn, all these people, feel me, at a soccer club, all these people at a chess club, or all these people, music.
Everybody was a part of something.
Yeah, this music club, like, the people that you meet is the networking opportunity.
That's right.
You met this business owner or this CEO or this dude that's head of marketing, and you like, damn, like that's when you start learning like the brands on our hats, right? These mics, cameras, phones. That's when you learn like they got different positions and somebody running those positions, and if you passionate about something, you can get into that in all these different fields. Right. So, I paid attention because that's the game, right? That's the game side of me. I paid attention to that. So like, that's a part of campus life too, which I try to tell these youngsters today. Like, when you go to college, even if you don't graduate, right? Goal is graduate for sure.
That's right.
But even if you don't, if you network with the right people, when you circle back and they remember you, you treat them good, you do the things you're supposed to do, they're gonna take care of you. They'll have your back.
Pay attention.
Yep.
Listen. Be a part of some network.
Yeah. So like the network thing was crazy at Cal, like crazy big. So like when I got a chance to see that part of it, then I start saying, I ain't gonna say fuck my teammates, but I start saying, hey, I'm Kenan, Josh, I ain't finna hang with y'all. I'm gonna go hang with the nerds, cause they finna put me in touch with some of the people that that I don't know. And then from there, right, from there, I meet the son, right? His name is Jack. His dad is Keith Kropp. Keith Kropp was the founder and, sold DocuSign for like 18 Bs, right?
Yeah.
Back in 2018. But I knew his son in college.
That's right.
And his son didn't play no sports, didn't do none of that. But it was because I'm around and like, boom, now me and Keith tight, right? Obviously, I got into some things, some other adventures with Keith that made my pockets fatter too.
That's right.
So it's like, I got to learn that just by, being around and paying attention to those things. You never know who you meet. So that I think that's what I try to tell the youngsters today. Like, yeah, my goal was always to make it to the NFL, but something that my old teammate Cam Newton used to say, right? He used to say it all the time, right? Exposure equals expansion. So I was exposed to some shit. That's right. So I got to expand what I want to do and how I wanted to move just because I was exposed. So I'm being exposed, even though I'm close from home. I'm close to home, but it didn't really feel like I was at home because all the different shit, whether it was cultures, whether it was different ventures, right? Even when I went back just past, like, this is kid right now who was on Good Morning America and doing this thing with AI. You feel me? Me and him tapped in. So when that time come, I'm like, yeah, I'm here with you. But it's just things like that you don't get introduced to when you're growing up in the hood or when you only got so many friends or so many things. So that's something I was really proud of.
Exposure piece, but also you was willing to allow yourself to be around opportunities and things that you wouldn't typically be a part of.
That is true.
And so college does that. Experiencing different things and different cultures does that. Being exposed to something might connect you with something you never knew might be a part of your life. And so I think that's big, that you made sure you paid attention, you listened to folks, you did things that were different than other people might do. So you go to the league, you're successful, you go to college, you're successful, and then you start a foundation, and you also get into coaching.
Yep.
So tell me about, one, your foundation, what the foundation is doing now, but also about your coaching life and what's going on today.
So we started Dreams Never Die back in 2016. I'll never forget this. So this was dope. So boom, I launched it, right? And this is that Cal network. Thank God I was hanging with the nerds, quote unquote. Right? So I launched the foundation. One of my old classmates seen it. Well, a professor who taught him at Cal at the time, his name was Roberto Gonzalez. He was at Harvard. He's at Penn now. Mm-hmm. He was at Harvard. So launched the foundation. Hey, you want to come down to Canberra and speak to us about the foundation? We can donate a bunch of people. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. It's Harvard. You can also sit. So I was at Harvard for a week, took a couple business classes, just sat in them. I didn't really take them. I just sat in them.
Right.
Right? But like, shit, it's Harvard, right? One of my mentors, Dan Springer, graduated from Harvard Business School. You feel me? So it's like, I do that. Like, now our foundation has shifted into coaching. So I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So we launched the foundation, right? Then I go to Harvard. So shit, I go Harvard, I go speak, I do my thing, we raise some money, we trying to do a good thing. That shit goes so well. MIT circled back, right? And they was at the time, President Obama was in office. Was he? Nah, he wasn't in office. He just finished his last term. But he was speaking. So me and him, it's me, him, Dusty Baker, the CEO of Catapult. And for you people out there, y'all be laughing at the sports bra look that the athletes wear that say Catapult on top. Like, shit, it was the CEO, and then it was Tony Myers, who at the time, Bill Gates stepped down. He was
so
CEO
you was out there with Obama?
Yeah. So I'm on a panel.
That's what's up.
And it's, like I said, it's me, Obama, and Dusty. Shout out to Dusty.
That's right.
So I got to know Dusty really close. We exchanged numbers, right? Like, I got to know Dusty, right? And I'm like, damn, I'm really sitting up here with, because at the time I'm like, damn, I'm up here with Dusty and Obama. I'm not even worried about the other two, which is crazy because the CEO of Catapult at the time, some Russian dude, right? I forgot his name. But the CEO at the Catapult at the time, he might still be CEO today. He telling me all the shit that's gonna happen in the future with Catapult that's happening right now.
Right.
So he telling me back then, this is shit, what's this, 2017? So this is almost 10 years ago, that's 8 years ago. He telling me shit that's happening now that he told me 8 years ago, which like, damn, the vision expanded. But the foundation led to that. Then obviously we went through some trials and tribulations with Vallejo, right? Obviously we was gonna build the new, my goal was to build a new Boys and Girls Club on steroids.
That's right.
Right? And I had all the resources to make it happen.
Athletes, for students.
Yeah, athletes, students, STEM program, right on Mare Island.
I know it.
Nimitz Group was in it. We closed the deal, right? Then boom, COVID hit. They got out of it. Then this one dude, I forgot his name, old white cat. He was gonna do something on Fairgrounds, but then my grandma did some digging on his ass. He ended up getting in trouble, so we pulled out of him. So we never got a chance to build that Boys and Girls Club vision that I wanted to. But we've done programs, whether it was robotics, we took kids to Google, DocuSign, YouTube, right, Twitch. We took kids to different people. I still talk, like, these people I still have connections with today. So I told myself, all right, how can I mix what I love to do, all right, which is football, and then what I love to do, which is try to help my community and help my people. Mm-hmm. Well, I said, fuck, go into coaching. So went into coaching, and I think college is where it's at for me, just because, right, you know, like Prime, I think I got resources that can help kids. If you don't make it, this is what we can do.
That's right.
I know a lot of people in San Francisco, et cetera, et cetera. And then obviously, if you do make it, shit, I made it. So I can walk you through that.
And you coached at the high school level, and college level already.
So right now, when I was at Cal, boom, in 2020, right after COVID, right after I retired, coached at Cal, helped them out. Went back to went to high school, Monte Vista, did my thing. I'm gonna have 2 kids that's probably gonna be playing.
But wait a minute, but I gotta say this: the program. How many games did they win the year before?
The year before they was 0-6 coming off the COVID season. They made the playoffs since 2016.
And what was their record when you left?
We were 8-3 when I left. Okay. Lost in the first round.
We gotta talk about that.
Started off 8-0. We just fucking ran through shit. But the good thing is, right? Like those high school kids, I get a chance to impact. Now, shit ain't easy now. Shit way harder. Because when I got to Rice, those kids was eating up everything I said when I got to Rice University and I'm coaching running backs. Those kids was like, you play in the league, that's what I want to do is college.
Right.
But then, when I was at Rice, so people don't know, Rice is in downtown Houston. Right across the street from Memorial Hermann, biggest hospital in the United States. Right? Rice is a huge engineering medical school. So I had 2 students that was pre-med. Right? One named Ari Broussard. And another one named Juma, and I do not want to mess his last name up. I'm going to call him O, right? African cat. Right. But I took both of them. Man, we're going to walk across the street. We're going to talk. We're going to learn how to talk politics, right? Nurses, right? Doctors. Somebody going to put us in the right position. Yeah. And now they working at the hospital. Yeah. Right? And that was back in 2022, 2023 when I did that for them. But, like, it's giving them, because, like, they didn't know. Like, they had this prestigious university, but they didn't know. And the programs, right? And no disrespect to Mike Bloom and any of them dudes, but the program didn't give them the resources. The program was using them just to win games, et cetera, et cetera. Which, if you pour into people, people gonna pour back into you. That's one thing I learned growing up with all the mentors I had. I had people who pour into me, I pour right back into them. right? And the way you pour back into them, like Shamann said it earlier, being successful and go make it is how you pour it back into them, right? Because they pouring all into you. So reason why I want to run my own college program, because that's the resources I want to pour into those kids, and they're going to pour back. We're going to win games and do that because that's what the job requires. But I always tell people, just like I tell the Benicia parents today, I tell the Monte Vista parents, and I'll tell anybody who I'm recruiting, right? The success ain't the program is how much we win or lose. That's not the success. The success of the program is, what did your son do when he left me? That's the success.
And what school you at now?
I'm at Benicia High right now.
So,
right?
You heard him say, what did your son do when he left me?
Yeah.
Because if you ain't making things better when you get there, and when you walk away, if they're not improved from the time that you spent there, then what did you really do?
Right. So now speaking to today, so in May, before I graduated, I take our principal, Ms. Clinchman, Brianna, I take her to Monte Vista, right? Because I'm like, there's some things we can steal from Monte Vista that's fucking, that'll be good. Because y'all the only high school in this district, so y'all got the cash.
Right.
Right? So boom, she go up there, sportsman program. But one thing that I did not know that Monte Vista saw, this is, we call it AGP, it's called Academic Game Plan. And it's mentors, and it's tutors, right? We be proactive instead of reactive, right? We take, so pretty much, I'm gonna just explain it in a short synopsis. So Shamann's one of my players, right? Shamann got his own folder, right? This day it's like Aries in Google Classroom, but back in our day it was a syllabus.
Right.
So Shamann got to give me a syllabus, and I'm highlighting all the dates, right? That's like shit due, right? Big paper, big test, whatever, right? And then every work that you do, you turn in, we make a copy of it, we put it in your folder. So if you've been doing B work, then we think you're going to be solid when it comes to test time and those things. If you're doing C work, D work, obviously you're struggling. Right. So before you take the test to fail, right, we proactive now. I'm like, hey, go to Ken and, that's right. You feel me, go to this math tutor, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what we did with Academic Game Plan. Monte Vista not only adapted that, they're doing it with all their athletes now. And we found that out when I went back up there in May. They were like, see the Academic Game Plan that he brought in, right? Now our boosters pay for all the tutors, and we do it for all sports. Right, and that's something I'm doing at Benicia now too.
Game planning is more than just about being on the field.
Yeah, so like having that impact, right? And I stole that from Teddy. Like I tell people, that's how I got to stay at Cal. Like that's how I got to stay in school at Cal, right? Over a 2.8, right? Not failing classes because they was proactive. They knew us as athletes, we needed help, so they was proactive. So when I was struggling at Cal, that's how I got my tutors. That's how I got in front of my tutors, right? Raymond Banks, shout out to Ray, because Ray still helped me today. Helped me graduate, right? He's still there doing his thing. But it was good to see that. And it was good to see that Monte Vista adapt that. Now we're doing it at Benicia, and then she wants to adapt that for all the athletes at Benicia. Because at the end of the day, if their grades is right and they know what to do, it's easier for them to get recruited and get out and etc. So that's what I tell them, man. I try to tell people is you want to leave it better than when you found it, but then it's about the impact you make. Because we're going to win games. I'm just not no loser. So we're going to win games. I ain't worried about that part.
Leave it better than you found it.
Right. We gonna win games.
That's how you make impact.
Yeah, we gonna win games, but it's about the impact. So like when I look at one of the Monte Vista kids before we move on, like Jack Indries, right? Jack Indries, we get him to Cal. Obviously he do his thing at Cal. Now he's at the University of Texas playing with Arch Manning and stuff. Gonna be probably a first, second round pick next year. Yeah. But when I talk to his dad, his mom, and the work ethic and how we pushed him, and academically, because he got his degree from Cal before he left, before he hit the transfer portal. Like, all the things that he wanted to do that we got to guide him to, his dad gives us me and Kay, huge credit for that. And I go, obviously it's the kid who did the work, but it's the pouring to him. So that's
well, no, they got to be able to accept the advice, listen to you, obviously get the exposure. But at the end of the day, young people, it is going to be on you.
Yeah, you got to put the work in.
Formula.
I'm going to just guide. Like, he guided me. I had to do all the work, but he guided me. And if it wasn't for that guidance, and then obviously me being receptive and listening. That's right. If I think I know it all, that's the problem with us youngsters. And I'm calling myself young because I'm 20 years younger than him.
But you can definitely say that.
But a problem with us, we think we know it all. Like the OGs ain't went through life. I'm trying to tell my nephew that. Damn, my nephew 15. And my grandma tried to tell him something about her childhood. Mm-hmm. This is 2 days ago.
Right.
And he don't want to listen. And I'm like, bro, you better soak this game up. Like, you tripping. Graham's finna be 82 in October.
And
Like,
she's straight out of
she
Baltimore.
got 80 years of experience of what the fuck going on. You better pay attention.
That's right. So I got a couple of rapid fire questions that I do.
Yep.
And so we just go hit them. You ready?
Let's do it.
Niners or Raiders?
Ooh, Raiders.
I already knew the answer to that. Best running back ever?
Best running back ever. Barry Sanders.
Okay. We had a conversation about that.
Someone like somebody else, huh?
Denver or Vallejo?
Damn, that's a good question.
That should be easy.
I love the V though.
Okay.
I ain't gonna never leave the V. I love the V. Don't get me wrong though. Colorado, beautiful fucking place.
It is.
I got too many regrets, but selling my house in Colorado was a regret.
Okay.
That shit was a regret.
It was a nice house too. Biggest game you ever played in?
Super Bowl 50.
Read a book or go to a movie?
Read a book.
Peyton Manning or Jared Goff?
Pay Manning.
All day. E40 or Too Short?
40.
40, okay.
40,
I had to check. Some
people,
people, you already know.
It's crazy about the 40 thing. Like, me and 40, I talked to him a couple months ago. Because I knew the streets, but I wasn't in the streets. So that South Vallejo Crest shit, I wasn't really like, when I saw 40, it was love.
Yeah.
But I know some people, you feel me? I ain't gonna name no names, but some of my unks and shit, you feel me? That's
we know.
As part of the romper room and shit, they wasn't really fucking with 40 like that. And see you around 40, but I'm like, shit, I'm a public figure, you a public figure, look at it like that. Don't look at it like we from the Crest of South Vallejo.
It's all love. It's all love. But no, anything else you want to tell the people? I mean, we talked about growing up, we talked about your history, and we talked about what you're doing now. Anything else you want to share with the people before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I think I want to just circle back, and this is to everybody, man. Listening is a fundamental life skill. Like, I got that quote from a coach. Shout out to Stu, who's coaching with the Miami Dolphins right now. He coached me, Marshawn Lynch. He had Marshawn in Buffalo when he was younger. Obviously, he had me in Denver when I was younger. But listening is a fundamental life skill, and if you listen to the right people and you pay attention to what's going on around you, you already a step ahead of the game in trying to be successful in whatever the hell you want to do. So that's the first one, and the second one is resilience. Like, when I look at my life story, going JUCO, house being raided, aunt sick, growing up in the Crest, having mentors, just resilience. Like, keep going, because I tell people all the time, right? I think the difference between me, I thought Dallas Bernstein was more talented. I thought Bobby Guillory was more talented, and shout out to them. I got nothing to say wrong about them. I just think the difference between, I just kept going. I never stopped. So listening, man, it's a fundamental life skill. Take that, and then whatever you're doing, bruh, like, believe in the plan. The plan might feel stagnant, but understand that you still, climbing to what the fuck you want to do in life.
Gotta work the steps. Listening. I don't know if you could teach resilience. I think that's something that's in you.
That's probably
I think that's your circumstance. I think you're born with it. But listening, most certainly.
Yeah, we all can listen.
Everybody got to understand, at the end of the day, a wise man once said, nothing at all. Listen and pay attention.
Right.
So we want to appreciate you, man. I love you.
Love you too.
I love you like a son. Always have. Second episode of Shamann Walton's 100% Real podcast, where everything we talk about is 100% real. I want to appreciate CJ Anderson. I want to thank Sun God Entertainment for sponsoring today. Of course, I got to give a shout out to Percy, a shout out to Carl for being here and filming and making sure that this happened. When you get time, make sure you go pick up the book From Juvenile Hall to City Hall. Your resume can change.